This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, it's Mike Zeck, designer of the Black Suit Spider-Man, and you're listening to the Nerd Corporation podcast.
Welcome to the Nerd Corporation.
Put it in yours. I mean, how would you feel about it? You know what I mean? It's just not.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think that's reasonable.
We're recording.
Oh,
what?
Finish this later.
Yeah, for sure. What up, guys? What up, everybody? It's Thursday, and that means it's podcast day.
Yay!
Welcome to episode 129, the Sourpuss Coalition. We're going to be talking about Black Widow, Marvel's newest MCU title that released just this last week. But
more importantly, Black Widow's hotter sister.
Right?
Am I right?
Right?
Am I right?
Florence Pugh can get it, dog.
Any day.
Oh,
You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of Hayden Panettiere.
yeah, I can see that.
And I had the biggest boner for Hayden Panettiere.
Really?
Respectfully.
I would respect her so hard with my hard member.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She was in Heroes.
Yes.
Wasn't she
Mhm.
in?
She was the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Midsummer.
No, Hayden Panettiere.
Oh.
Until
I
dawn.
thought we were talking about
Until
Florence
dawn.
Pugh.
Until dawn.
Yeah, she's also in Until
Mhm.
Dawn.
Yep.
Great game, man.
Yeah.
But first, let's get on with the nerd news. In wrestling news, Bayley suffered an injury that's going to put her out for 9 months.
Ooh.
She
Yeah,
tore an
bro.
ACL.
I mean, I certainly do not mean to make it sound like I wish horrible things for other people, but in one way, I definitely think, thank God, I'm so done with that character.
That's what I was just going to say.
Are they still doing like edgy Bailey?
No,
Well,
they're doing this like weird.
it's like a super whiny, yet like she's supposed to be whiny and simultaneously like mean and angry and hardcore. And
It's just like a villain that doesn't know when to stop cackling.
What was wrong with the cool hugging Bailey? Like,
Well, I mean, I get that they want to reinvent it and keep it fresh now and then, but like, at least come up with something that's worth doing.
Well, I mean, when she first heel turned, she was great.
yeah.
Like when she let go of the hugger persona and was just doing her thing, being a heel and going for the title, that was great. But then she started doing the whole ding dong hello, and then just starts laughing all the time for no reason.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she would just laugh at things, but like she'd laugh at them for uncontrollably long amounts of time. It's just so unbearable.
Yeah.
We hope that she has a speedy recovery, and
That WWE repackages her.
yeah.
Did you guys know that Sasha Banks is an anti-vaxxer?
Mm-mm.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm not
Money
surprised.
out of the bank.
Right. Yeah, that sounds about right for me, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
We got an official announcement for The Witcher Season 2,
We did.
December 17th.
That's
I think
right.
is what it was.
We did. I posted it on the page.
Like, I don't do Facebook right now.
Well, that's true.
When do
That's
you
true.
ever get to?
No
Well,
shit.
once at a Blue Moon, they decided to let him out of the cage.
For a minute.
And then they're like, you know what?
For a
Nope.
minute, they let me out of my
This
cage,
isn't
and I was
working out.
doing just fine.
Solitary
Yeah, I was going to
confinement.
say.
Solitary, back to solitary for you.
No.
I gotta be down because you want it all.
But why Facebook?
Bro,
and
I
then
gotta
they just
tell you,
look at me.
It's fucking hilarious because you're doing nothing. You're literally doing nothing. And they're
Well,
just like,
the
bam.
the main one I was doing something, but I called a woman who was trying to tell us on a page that because her cat identifies as a dog, it's a dog now. And I was
That's
like,
fucking awesome.
I was like, listen here, you daft twat. I'll say twat because it's not as bad as the word that I said.
Oh, okay.
Like species and gender are not the same fucking thing. And then I was good for like a solid like 12 hours. And then, like, the next morning, Facebook was like, whoa,
Got ya.
got his ass.
I'm sure someone else that agreed with her went and looked at it and reported you.
Yeah.
Like, he's right, but
What a
what's
bitch,
that
bro.
Anthony Mackie line from Falcon and Winter Soldier was like, where he's like, he's out of line, but he's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a bitch, bro.
Yeah.
And then you got banned on your other one?
for it, just every time I try and like do anything, like react to something, it says to prevent misuse, we've temporarily restricted this action. And I'm like, why? And they're like,
Seemed like a good idea at the
Yeah,
time.
he'll hit like the I disagree button,
Yeah.
and it will take him to like his violations, and it's like no known violations.
like
That's so
this is
fucking
what
awesome.
happens. I'll try and react. You
Dude.
can't use reactions right now.
What the fuck?
And then I'll hit disagree. Thanks for your feedback. And I'm like,
That's
well, you're
it.
gonna get a lot of it.
Bro, I would just keep doing it like over and over and
That's
over
what I have
again.
been.
Just build up the muscle memory to just hit both of those.
Because somebody's got to see it, like, and eventually they're going to get so annoyed, they'll be like, God, fine!
And then one day I'll post something really terrible, just be like, watch, I can't post this, and it'll
And then-
post, and then
I know.
Facebook will be like, ah!
Oh my god!
Have you tried deleting the app? Because it might just be like an app error.
I haven't. Maybe I'll give that a try.
Yeah, and
The thing that blows, like, that I'm like, why do I just not know? Like,
Dude, Facebook belongs to the boomers now. It doesn't matter anymore.
yeah.
All it is fucking QAnon conspiracy
You know-
theories and
You know what I would love for someone to make? Do a completely zombie style genre movie, but have it be old people instead of zombies. And like they just
I swear to God, there's already something.
well,
You mean
I
like
think,
that
I
South
think
Park
there's
yeah, I
something
was
like-
going to say
yeah,
the one
okay.
where they go
Yeah.
to it's not
Country buffet.
country buffet.
That's
I was
right.
going to say Cracker Barrel. Yeah,
That's right.
Same
they
thing.
they all
But I'm talking a full length feature film
Yeah.
taken completely seriously. Like it's not, South Park spoofing something. Like I want like a movie where the actors take this shit serious.
Bro,
and
will
this is like
Will you ever be safe from zombie hospice?
You know what? You know what I want to see is that Karen movie.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that Karen movie is something else. And the fact that it was done by BET, I'm just like, what in the world?
And the fact that they got what's her name to play the Karen, I'm like, she's perfect for it. I mean, I'm not like slamming her or anything, but like, just based on what she played in Orange Is the New Black.
Yeah.
like,
Have you seen that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Dee has to go visit her grandpa, and she's like terrified of old people?
yeah.
Like she's like washing her face in the bathroom, and there's this old bitch standing right behind her, and she turns around and she's like, ah! Just fucking full on scream.
So I've got some local nerd news
Go on.
to the Cache Valley area.
Go
So
off, bro.
all those of you out of state or out of country, sorry, but we've got plenty of other news. So we have got on August 20th, we have got Dominic Pace coming to the local mall.
That's right.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
the mall.
The local Cache Valley.
The-
Nothing ever happens here.
The
It's
vacant
it's
the
half
vacant
empty.
mall.
Yeah, it's half fucking empty. So
Who is this guy?
so
He was
he's
in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's got a few. Well, not a few parts, but a few showings in the Mandalorian. A
Okay.
couple episodes. He's a very minor
He's
character.
probably a conservative dog.
I don't know.
If he's coming to Cache Valley, fucking Utah.
Well, okay, so I'll just kind of read off some of this stuff. He's also acted in NCSI. Isn't that NCIS?
Yeah.
I think the person
Yep.
mistyped that.
NCIS.
NCIS. He's agreed to come to Logan, Utah, at the Pure Oil Store. So yeah, probably
No, dude,
conservative.
it's like that
The
show
pure
lot.
oil store.
I think it's one of those kiosks. In
Yeah,
no,
No, it's
they have a store.
no, it's where that old jewelry store used to be.
Oh, Schwab.
the one where Ellie worked.
Schwab?
Or-
Yeah, the one
oh,
where Ellie
okay.
worked. Yeah, it's so that's an oil
No, dude,
Fusion place.
and NCIS is like that show Special Order Law and Victims Unit.
Yeah.
When you say oil store, you mean like essential
Yes.
MLM.
Yes. So
Yo.
that's why I said he probably is a conservative.
That is so good for so many reasons, dude.
So- Also, the 501st is coming with their land speeder as well.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So that should be pretty fun.
That gets the cool pass.
Yeah. By the way, the store opens at 10 a.m. and there will be giveaways in the mall. So like from different stores there in the mall. And so yeah, like they're hyping it up and suggesting that people come and cosplay if they want. And
Nice.
I guess we could talk about that fucking awful PlayStation State of Play that we had.
I didn't even know that happened.
me
Yeah,
either.
me neither.
That's Stranding's director's cut got some airtime. There was also... It was a big focus on Deathloop. Oh, and the fucking Switch. We gotta talk about the Switch.
I was
too.
just gonna talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Deathloop is an exclusive for 1 year after the game releases. So, Xbox, you're gonna be able to play whatever the fuck Arcane's making over there. Yeah, I want to talk about the Switch for a minute. People big mad about this thing. Well, there's no really...
There's no
Besides-
difference besides a
Yeah.
OLED screen.
Graphically speaking, yeah.
Literally
It's-
nothing.
It's not the upgrade
Yeah.
of
It's not
the
the Pro.
It's not the upgrade everybody was hoping for.
for the midlife of this console. You know, like
Mhm.
And it being $50 more is not sitting well with people. I get it. Man, once you get a look at that OLED, it's completely worth the price.
Dude,
completely worth the price.
I wish that
I mean-
we could just buy the little like center screen piece because like I have two of everything. Like I don't
And it's
need
fucking
another.
white. Like I hate white electronics because they get dirty so fucking fast.
I mean, for me, I'm not upset about the price. It's not the upgrade that I was hoping for. It's not the 4K. It's not. I wanted something much cooler to warrant an announcement.
Right.
So I'll tell you how I feel because I feel like I'm pretty much the only one that's like super positive about this.
Are you?
I am.
You
I
are?
mean, I don't feel negative about it. I just feel a little let down.
Well, we're in
The
the
way I
minority.
feel about it is just exasperated sigh. Like,
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
there were-
You don't. It's not like
Like, okay.
the OLED screen and the bigger screen is pretty
But-
cool, but
Yeah.
you're paying an extra $50 for is like a inch bigger screen, and
Not even an inch. It's
not
point-
even
it's
yeah, not even
0.8.
an inch,
Yeah, it's
and
0.08.
OLED, which doesn't to make that jump shouldn't be an extra $50. Like,
I don't know, man. OLEDs are fucking expensive.
Dude, honestly, an extra $50 not only just for the OLED, for the minimal higher, like the minimal expansion in
Right.
screen size, and to get an Ethernet port. I mean, I think $50 is pretty fucking
Well,
reasonable.
I mean, what's doing it for me is the bigger screen, the OLED, and the improved audio. Because the speakers on the Switch are hot doo-doo.
yeah.
They're not good at all.
Dookie water.
Dookie water. Touching your ball sack. Yeah, it's not good. That's not good at all. But that fucking screen is literally like that in the way that the Switch handles. Like, if I'm being honest, like, that not having a graphical up boost, like, even just by a little, bro, like, is kind of really disappointing. Because we still have Switches that can,
that's my main thing, I guess I
Yeah.
should say.
like, at least focus on, like, upgrading the tech a little bit to make it
Yeah.
so you can get, like, steady 30. Or the games that you play at 60. Like, Nintendo's games that play at 60 are pretty rock solid. But the ones that play at 30 are not good. Like, really at all. You get to a high area in Zelda, and that thing fucking chugs, dude. So it's just kind of disappointing that we're not getting something like that. But I did hear a rumor that we're apparently getting another model next year.
Really?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be nice? Because there were so
I would
many.
love to
Wouldn't
fucking
it be
spend more
nice?
money on another Switch.
There were so many like rumors around all of this stuff, and it included the 4K upgrade. So it's
Nintendo's just like, nah.
yeah.
Dude, it's so funny because it's like, I want to play... These motherfuckers are out here saying I want to play Nintendo games in 4K. Who gives a fuck? It's a Nintendo game. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
and pretty
Yeah.
and artistic. It's not supposed to be like Doom on the fucking PC running it at 240 fucking frames per second.
Right.
Like, what's the point, dude? What is the point?
Yeah, there's no...
These games, they glisten when they're at 60 frames. If they can just fucking focus at 60, god damn, the Switch would be insano in terms of
Showing no mercy.
being fucking valuable. I'm gonna get one just because I want to play. I want to play the new Metroid on that OLED because I feel like that would be really fucking pretty. That and Breath of the Wild 2, the new Pokemon game, the new Pokemon remaster that's coming out. I would really love to play it on an OLED. Because, dude, you know, Eddie, having a Vita with the OLED, that thing is so fucking pretty, man.
It's crispy,
And a
bro.
big version of that screen playing fucking Zelda. Mwah.
Did you
Amazing.
guys see what Nathan Christensen said about the OLED?
I did, but I
Yeah.
forgot.
Well,
He
so
was just being a douche.
Yeah.
about-
he's
The
Just
Vita
being a
had an
Sony
OLED.
I mean, I
rep.
remember
Yeah.
it made me laugh.
The
but...
Vita had an OLED in 2011.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
He's not wrong, bro. The OLED on the Vita is gorgeous. Like, it's drop dead gorgeous.
How much was the Vita when it came out?
A lot of fucking money.
I was trying to think because I can't
I
remember.
think it was $250 for the Wi-Fi version, $300 for the AT&T fucking
Which nobody
signal
had.
one. Yo, I had a kid that I went to school with that got the 3G variant
Oh, really?
because his whole family was so AT&T focused. So, and I think he got it for like some kind of deal, but it was so lame. Dude, do you remember 3G?
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Like everything about it trash. And then they're like, you can play multiplayer on the go, Killzone Mercenary. Can you imagine playing a fucking twin stick shooter, or not a twin stick shooter, but like a dual analog shooter on 3G? On the
Yeah,
Vita.
That was a
Fuck
top
you.
down,
Yeah,
right?
but do you remember when
Yeah,
3G was all we had, and like you're just looking for when you hit a 3G area, and you're like, oh yes, I can check my shit on the internet now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, those are rough times.
Yeah, they were.
I don't know, man. Extra $50, whatever. Who fucking cares? If you're in the market to buy a Switch, if you don't have a Switch yet, perfect opportunity.
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think it looks gorgeous.
I'm
I'd like the
down
new
with it.
dock. I just wish it wasn't white because
I mean, it won't
Might
really
get something
matter to a
fast.
lot of people because they'll probably just be trading in their Switch to get this one. So they're not gonna.
dude, my Switch is hot shit, bro. That thing is bent and it doesn't hold the Joy-Cons worth of fuck. My Switch is rough, and I feel bad for little
Sounds
Timmy.
like you need a new one.
Exactly. I just feel
Well,
bad.
here you go, October.
I just feel bad for future little Timmy that's gonna get my Switch, and that thing just sucks.
It just falls apart in their hand.
Because you know GameStop will still take it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. And sell
GameStop's
it.
gonna sell that
And
thing for
sell
like $250, bro.
they're gonna turn around and sell it like that day.
They're fucking assholes.
All I
dog.
can give you here is this clothespin for it.
Like, sign your life away, little
And
Timmy.
then they'll turn around and sell it for big bucks.
You know you want to play Smash. You know you want to play Sephiroth.
Oh, we
versus
got the
Cloud
Smash
and
bundle.
When did he bring that in there?
I just wanted to. It's not really news. It's just my very small, very insignificant first impressions of the new Resident Evil series on Netflix because I've only seen like 2 episodes of it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that it's a CGI series, but I don't know, man. The CGI,
Not good.
some of it's not doing it for me.
Damn.
Like I can't put my finger on it, but it looks like some of it feels to me like I'm watching a long Resident Evil cutscene.
Yeah.
And the fact that when you go to watch it, it will say where you watch a series and it's like, this is in HD or this is in Dolby Vision.
Yeah.
HD.
Really?
I'm like, the least we could have done is, a 4K.
Fucking Capcom, man.
So I'm like, my expectation kind of just like has plateaued now that I'm watching it, and
Yeah.
I don't know if it will, get any better, but it's
I actually saw one of the local Utah wrestlers saying kind of the same thing.
Really?
Are, about just like, man, he was like, I hate this animation style that they've been going with.
I don't know.
Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm trying to
That motherfucker hates everything.
I'm trying to like it, and I'm just trying to. Like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, but I'm just trying to, like, stay away from my super high expectations of it. It's cool because they tie in a bunch of other stuff, like in the beginning, you know, they're in the White House or whatever, and the president's like, I'm indebted to you, Kennedy, because you saved my daughter. And I was like, he's still the president after this whole time.
Dude, I know exactly why the CGI is so shit.
Yeah?
It's because all the fucking money that they were supposed to use for that went for advertising Monster Hunter stories, too, for Nintendo Switch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude. Well, because they've been so fucking obnoxious talking about that fucking game, dude.
Last piece of news, because it's a week or so old, but we haven't talked about it, is Shang-Chi trailer.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, dude.
Which, the trailer looks bomb as fuck.
It really does look great. I don't know very much about Shang-Chi, so I can't really,
I don't know a ton about Shang-Chi either.
I heard that during the trailer last night. Shang-Chi.
I'm sure it was cold.
No, it was, yeah.
You heard me?
Yeah.
Gene Diesel.
I heard you, in the movie started and they were in Cuba. I heard, Cuba!
If you guys haven't already noticed, Cole is the worst person to go to a movie with
my
because
God,
he is
bro.
so loud and he's always like,
Cole is the worst to go to the movies with. Like, I've noticed that because I was trying to get his attention when the opening credits to the movie happened because it was that covered version of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah.
And hella loud just out of nowhere. I'm like, listen to the music. And he goes, no fucking way.
yeah, no, he's that guy.
Well, Cole has never struck me as someone who has volume control. And
he doesn't.
And that's coming from me. So
Cuba.
The one,
But I
the one that was killing me was just Shang-Chi.
Yeah, dude.
Because like the whole time I'm like, Shang-Chi and the 10 wings.
but it looks like a dope ass movie, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Before we get into the subject of the hour, if you're listening on YouTube, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We want to beat that algorithm and get into as many nerdy ears as possible. So with that, Black Widow. Well, it was a decent movie.
I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I was more entertained than I expected to be.
Agreed.
Honestly, I forgot the movie was coming out, and I had, like, zero intention of actually watching it until you mentioned that you're going to go see it, and everyone else is going to go see it. I'm like, okay.
All right.
And I was pleasantly surprised.
So it's the first Marvel movie to come out after COVID.
Yes.
Right.
So I guess the box office amount is pretty high right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's well deserved, or
I don't know. For something as
do you think that it was just the hype of a Marvel movie?
I
coming
think
out?
it was a little of both.
Yeah.
I think you can't just ignore any of those factors. I mean, it all goes into it.
This was the first movie I've been to since everything came back.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
the second one for me.
It's the first one for me, and yeah, I think I agree with Derek that it is half the excitement of going back to the movies and half Marvel hype. I think Black Widow was one of the movies that was really anticipated by some fans, and I think it was, I don't know, it was good. It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was the best Marvel movie, but I didn't think it was the worst either.
Well, and even if you're not super hyped about Black Widow like I was just not all that, I didn't really care all that much. Scarlett Johansson, for all of her wonderful exterior qualities, is not what I would call a good actor.
So
Shocker. When have you ever said that about her?
Always.
I was actually, I reminded myself that that's your opinion, throughout the movie. About halfway through, I was like, oh yeah, Derek doesn't like ScarJo. And so I thought about it, and I didn't think she did bad.
Well, see,
She doesn't do bad, she just doesn't do very good.
It's not that I think that she's a terrible actor. I just think that she's there physically, and that's about it. She delivers her lines. There's not a lot going on there, but she's not so far into bad actor territory that she's actively distracting from the scenes that she's in.
I feel like Scarlett Johansson has a pocket. And anytime she tries to act outside of that pocket is when it kind of drags her down.
To me, and I tell me, Eddie, if you agree, but like to me, her wheelhouse is badass, sarcastic female that's angry. That's her pocket in my mind.
So, I thought that Florence Pugh and the actor that played the Red Guardian,
David Harbour.
David Harbour.
I think that they stole the show.
Absolutely.
Oh, David Harbour was the best part about
Yeah,
that.
I
Absolutely.
thought that they did so amazing, and I want to see more of what Florence Pugh can do.
And that's-
'cause I've loved her since Midsummer, and I want more.
I want to be one of those things that she can do.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite things about this movie. I think that's why I liked it as much as I did, was because the movie did not, and I'm sure they did this intentionally, but this movie did not at all rest on ScarJo's shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm sure they knew why. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
sure that was a very, very pointedly made choice.
Was she the main character in Midsummer?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, ScarJo?
yes, yeah, no, because I was sitting there and I was like, because I didn't like put the two faces together
Yeah,
at first.
she's the main gal. Yeah.
Okay,
So at the beginning of the movie, when she's relocating to Norway, when she's in her little bungalow, I noticed the blonde hair dye. And so throughout the whole movie, I was like, when's it gonna happen? Like, when's her hair gonna change? And then the last, 2 seconds, she gets a little blonde bob, and I'm like, okay, why did they even allude to that in the beginning if it was just going to happen at the end? That was, the dumbest choice that I think I've ever seen.
So I'll tell you how I feel about this movie.
Tell me how you feel.
how you really feel.
How you really,
So-
really feel.
I don't care how you feel.
A positive, fuck you. A positive for me was the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of backstory needed to know to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it was kind of sprinkled in, huh?
Well, it was really nice. Like, all you had to do, Eddie, to catch me up was like, hey, this is right after Civil War.
So, and that was an easy context clue for me to pick up because it sounded like the Avengers were out on the outs, and so I was like, oh, so this must be right after Civil War.
Yeah,
Right.
and yeah, like I was just gonna say, even if you didn't know when this took place, like they kind of put it out there for you, like right. At
Yeah,
that
but
part.
Cole
Yeah.
was high, so he couldn't
Well,
use those.
and
things.
as
if you're not using the devil's lettuce,
And you do have to assume that
and you're of a sober mind and body.
and you do have to assume to a point that the viewer has been following the story so far.
Right.
I mean, there's
Okay.
gonna be people that don't really get it. They're just like, oh, it's another, great Marvel movie. Like a lot of people are gonna be that way. So that's, but I get what you're saying.
Well,
Yeah.
Cole, you thought
Derek.
it was a prequel.
Yeah, well, I knew that it had some prequel tendencies going in, but yes, going in, I thought it was 100% a prequel, but as we found out, it's not. And I see that as a positive because it just laid the groundwork for me to enjoy it at a base level, which is really all I wanted it to be. I just wanted another reason. I just wanted a reason to go stuff my face with popcorn and suck down as much Coke Zero as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue in this movie is not great for me. David Arbor is really great as what is it? The Crimson Dolly Whoop or whatever.
The
fuck
Dolly
this
Whoop?
is.
Did you say Dolly Whoop?
The Crimson Dolly
the
Whoop.
Crimson Chin.
Yeah.
The Crimson Chin.
What is it?
Yes.
Welcome to episode 129, the Crimson Dolly Whoop.
No, somebody
The
said
Red
that.
Guardian.
Well, yeah, it's
She
the Red
ca-
Guardian.
She called
but
him the Crimson Dynamo, which is
Dynamo.
That's-
which is another character.
And that's what put the Crimson Chin in my mind is as soon as I heard Crimson, and I was just like, he's got a big beard. I mean,
yeah,
that could be hiding a big chin.
That was something that I thought while we were watching the movie too. I was like, oh, yeah, it's the Crimson Chin.
The action was top notch. I thought it was really good and
Oh,
entertaining.
yeah.
I just think that every time that it slowed down to build these characters up, I was almost asleep. There was actually one time where I was like, I am straight up falling
You were
asleep.
also stoned.
Okay, but
You were.
actually, marijuana keeps me awake.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
That's not true. I'm calling cap on that one. I apologize. I know that you don't like it when I correct you,
Should
but
we-
that is a bold
Should
face
we all
lie.
hit the bullshit button at the same time?
She needed
or-
a can opener for all of the cap.
Shut the... No.
He needed a bottle opener for the cat.
You can take my opinion however you will, okay? But goddamn, whenever anybody sat down to talk to each other, it was just like...
See, I disagree.
Yes.
I disagree because I feel like they went off each other really well, especially Florence Pugh. And,
I didn't ask for this to become a top secret Russian fucking assassin.
Like, when ScarJo and Florence Pugh were talking about the fucking vest, that shit was so funny.
See, I mean, like, because you're not just gonna have a movie with nothing but action the whole way. You have to break that up. Yeah. And if you don't have those changes of pace in the right areas, it's just gonna be really awkward.
And that's what I'm saying.
And for me,
the
it was great.
Yeah, the dialogue just didn't do it for me. Obviously, it's going to do it for you two because you two are fans of this. But I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy what's going on in the moment. Y'all Marvel fans you're something special. And I'm not meaning this as an insult. Mm-hmm. Y'all live in the past, the present, and the future all at once because you're so excited to see You're so excited to see things that were teased forever ago happen now.
Yeah.
And then you're also enjoying the movie of what it's worth, and then you're enjoying like all the shit that it's teasing to come forward. So it's like y'all just always are y'all are eating good.
Like, not
right
to
now.
mention
we really are.
Like, that's a long-winded saying that you guys got enough
we ate
content.
like kings last night.
Not to mention all the Easter eggs that have nothing to do with things paying off at some point. Just like the fun little I know that reference.
Yeah. So all those
I understood
like the
reference.
Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah.
like all that shit's just flying over my head like it's not like it's gone. You know. So I'm just trying to say, like, in terms of... And I know it's futile, and I shouldn't fucking say anything at all, because my voice just, goes in the dark and just disappears, because no one hears me at all.
I
So,
hear you.
What?
I'm sorry. What are you saying?
Shut your mouth.
Shut the fuck up.
It kind of sounds like you have a victim complex.
Got him!
Hella got him.
Got his ass.
Take him out the oven because that motherfucker is
Do
No, I agree with you. There were definitely like a few lulls. Like I caught myself looking at my watch a few times. But this was like my movie example of why we should have subtitles in theaters.
Agreed.
Because
Yeah.
I could not understand most of the dialogue because of
there
the
was
accents
some of the dialogue.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I caught almost all of it, but every now and then there was a single word
Yeah, it's like, what,
in a
huh?
sentence. I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
One more time.
Might I? Oh, sorry.
One other thing that I wanted to bring up too was the only two female Marvel characters that I can think of are both Russian. What's the deal with that?
What's the other one?
Wanda.
Wanda Maximoff? Well, I mean,
She's Sokovian.
Well, you've got Lady Sif, right? With Thor.
Lady Deathstrike.
You got Lady Deathstrike.
She-Hulk.
X-23.
Okay,
You've got
the
Gwen,
two
Spider-Gwen.
humans.
Spider-Gwen's human?
Technically, X-23 is human.
Yes, it's true.
Lady Deathstrike was human at some point.
Okay,
You've got
it was the two that I could think of.
You've got
I apologize.
You've got Sue Storm. You've got Storm X-Men Storm. You've
Okay,
got
but that's a different universe of Marvel.
That is
it's still Marvel, is it not?
It's not the
Is it
cinematic
not?
universe.
Yeah, that.
Storm was in Marvel movies, not Marvel movies, Fox Marvel movies, but still, Sue Storm was in Fox Marvel movies.
Wasn't it Halle Berry?
Yeah.
Hell
God
yeah,
damn
bro.
it, that was
Halle Berry.
My
that was
favorite line of
terrible.
hers.
That was
my
terrible.
favorite line of hers was always, "Do you know what happens to a frog that gets hit by lightning? Same thing that happens to everything else." Blammo!
That was the only even
My
remotely redeemable part of her.
my
That's a better line
favorite
than all
part
of-
of those movies is when they're I can't remember where they're at, but they're going into some room and they go through a metal detector. Wolverine like punches it with his claw and then just brings out his middle claw to like Cyclops.
So one of the things that I thought about was Taskmaster and how big mad all the neckbeards were going to be because of the gender swap or whatever.
I mean, we said that during the movie.
Yeah. Turns out I'm one of those neckbeards that's mad about the Taskmaster gender swap.
Why?
So
He fits the profile.
Yeah.
That's true.
Eddie does indeed have a neck beard.
yes. Two things that I'm upset about. One, Taskmaster doesn't need equipment to mimic.
Right. That did bother me, that part.
Second, making Taskmaster Old Boy's daughter insults the Taskmaster.
Original Taskmaster.
Yeah, the original Taskmaster.
So, as a new person to the Marvel Universe, when I saw Taskmaster
Mhm.
with the shield,
Mhm.
and they had referenced Steve Rogers missing, I thought that perhaps they were controlling Captain America into fighting the remaining Avengers and trying to get this antidote.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
I was a little confused.
So, Taskmaster, Anthony Masters, he has what's called photographic reflexes. It's like an eidetic memory, but instant. And so he is, of course, the perfect mimic. But the cost is his long-term and short-term memory.
Ooh.
So he can mimic whatever he sees, but he forgets it almost immediately.
So, like, dementia.
Almost.
So, yeah,
Yikes.
and it's so the cool thing about it is it's only effective in the middle of a fight he's already doing, which is the only time it needs to be effective,
Right.
and everything else is just, nothingness. So it's just cool the
Right.
way that plays out.
Right, and so the fact that they had to relegate Taskmaster to being Dreykov's daughter
Yeah.
is just like, what in the fuck? They could have built upon that so much. Like, they could have given Taskmaster a great story, still kept Taskmaster a female.
But it was way too convenient for the story. You know
So
what I mean?
I thought that it was a good, like, oh shit moment in
Well,
my
yeah.
eyes. I was like, oh.
For me, it was like, oh shit.
It was way. I feel like it was just,
okay, we got a bunch of neck beards in here, it sounds like.
It was just.
I
Way,
have a face beard.
I just feel it was way too convenient of a tool to fit into their story for them not to do it. Like.
Well, why would Taskmaster work for the Red Room people otherwise?
Money?
He's a mercenary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taskmaster is a mercenary.
He's not under any sort of mind control. Like,
Mhm.
it's of his own volition. He's doing it for money.
But yeah, I mean, they want, like, that was the, bar none, the easiest, fastest way to give some emotional payoff to that. Where if it was just some guy, you wouldn't have had that emotional payoff that they were after.
Yeah, I
Not
guess.
not to mention, like, the old...
I'm-
in the series, like the cartoon series and like in the video games and stuff, had like a really cool gruff
Yeah.
villain voice. And I knew something was like weird when she kept encountering Taskmaster, and A, she never said a word, and B, like, they had the Taskmaster hood, but it was never on, which is like one of his
Yeah.
trademark
Yeah,
looks.
that was sad. But yeah, I mean, and this is not to say, of course, that they couldn't have created that emotional payoff in some other way. Or maybe she did kill his daughter, and that was it. And he's, using... they could have had that emotional payoff in other ways, but that was by far the most convenient, to the point way to do it.
Yeah.
And not have to spend any time whatsoever setting it up.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
I can't really blame them for doing it, but...
But at the same
I get
time, you blame them for doing it.
No, I get the criticism, but I don't really blame them for going the way they did.
I just wanted to say a thing really quick about, and I'm probably going to mispronounce her name, but I'm going to say Rachel Weisz. Weiss?
Yeah, Rachel.
Let me just talk about all of the memories from The Mummy that flooded back into my head of just, oh.
Who did she play?
She was the doctor in The Mummy. She was like opposite
But I
Brendan
mean
Fraser.
in...
Oh, she was the mom.
Mama
Oh, okay.
Melinda.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been seeing these lately, but I have. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, on my Facebook feed, I'm seeing all of these Mummy posts
Oh, yeah.
that are just talking about what a fucking treasure Brendan Fraser is.
He is, though.
And oh my god, dude, they're the most adorable things that you've ever heard. Like, I should try and find them again and share them to the group, but They're hilarious. Apparently, one of the best things in life is to have the DVD and listen to Brendan Fraser's commentary, because he does commentary for the movie on one of them.
There was a behind the scenes thing that I was reading that was just a meme that was posted where I can't remember the dude's real name, but the guy that played Emotep.
Yeah, like on the first scene.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
he was talking. He was like, "We're doing a scene where Noxuna Moon was supposed to come out, and Brendan Fraser comes out dressed up as her." And just starts laughing, and then he was like, "I wasn't even supposed to be there that day."
Yeah, and the other actor was like, "What in the fuck is going on?" But yeah, he got all decked out, makeup and everything.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I think it said that he even learned some of the lines, like the lines that she would have said right off the bat. And like I thought he said that, or the meme said that he tried to play it straight, and the other actor was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
But yeah, just because I hadn't seen her in anything for a very long time, and when like in the very beginning of the movie when they were all kids living in Ohio, I was like, is that like, it was kind of hard to tell because I think they did the de-aging on her, and I was like, it looks like, but it can't be. And then when it turned out it was her, when they all reunited, and like my head was just like, remember how hot she was in The Mummy, bro? And I was like, yeah, I do voice in my head.
So,
I love
nothing to me in this movie, especially following, more than a year of sitting at home away from everybody, nothing made me laugh, internally at least, more than Red Guardian putting his suit back on.
Yeah.
Like, that was, I was like, same, bro. Same. Hard same.
Because that's how we all felt coming out of quarantine too. It was like, shit,
well,
these pants don't fit anymore.
Yeah, I was like, this is our moment right now. This is what all of us watching this movie are experiencing.
Yeah.
At least the majority.
Well, that's why I always have like these sweatshirts on all the time.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm heavier than I've ever been in my life. Ever.
Brother.
I've got denim shorts on. So
I had to buy new pants because mine were falling off of me. So
yeah, Eddie's the only one that came out of quarantine skinnier.
can't relate.
I bet
I just need to
I
get
bet I know,
diabetes.
Angela, what your favorite song from Mario is.
What?
Denim, denim, denim.
Got him.
Got him.
Got him.
I loved the communist quips and stuff. I elbowed Cole and I was like, he's got Karl Marx tattooed across his knuckles.
I thought I was the only one that noticed that when he was arm wrestling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so over the top.
I was
bro.
like, better red than dead.
Well, all I saw was the KARL, and then I was like, no dude, really?
Yeah, with a K.
Dude, when he breaks that dude's hand.
Yeah.
Oh, and they
That
show
was-
his hand flopping around.
And him breaking out of prison too was so badass. I loved that.
Oh yeah,
shit.
that was so fun. I mean, it was just
It was
such a
very
clusterfuck.
yeah, it was very hectic. Like they were like, "Don't make a scene," and he's like, just fighting everybody.
Well,
and
that door opens and everyone's like, "Oh shit, the door's open!" And that's like what
Yeah.
causes the reaction. But one of my kind of parts that I remember is like when they're running away from the cops in the beginning, and he's getting everybody in the plane, and he just like throws the bulldozer. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
They did a really good
I mean-
job de-aging him in that first part. I didn't have any idea it was David Harbour at first.
Yeah.
I
Like, not at all.
actually completely forgot that Red Guardian was a super soldier.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I forgot to be honest.
That's what I was just saying too, Cole, about Rachel Weisz, is that like I didn't recognize her in the very beginning when they were all living in Ohio.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Looks like her.
Yeah, Misty leaned over to me and was like, "Is that the guy in Stranger Things?" And I was like, "Yep."
Yes.
I couldn't put my finger on it. I had to ask Cole. I was like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "It's the cop from Stranger Things." And I was like, "Okay."
It's also Hellboy.
Yeah.
It is
Oh
also
yeah, the new
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Mm-hmm. I think that Florence Pugh stole the show.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
I honestly they did such a good job with her.
Yeah.
I
And
think
my heart.
Yeah.
I want
And
to. I
loins.
just, like I said earlier, I would just want to see so much more of her.
And that leads me into the after credit scene.
Yes, we gonna talk about this?
Yes,
All
yeah.
right.
So,
No, we're just gonna end the show.
And that leads into the after credit scene. And bye.
You can follow us on.
right. You know, the after credit scene, we see Yelena at a grave site, and we end up seeing that Natasha's gravestone is the one that she's visiting. You know, says,
Panic fills the movie theater. By the
right,
way,
dude. Everybody lost their shit in there.
Which I ain't worried.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a super spy. That's like, you gotta die at least a couple times depending on your mission.
Right, exactly. And so we see Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina come
Yeah,
up.
what a pleasant surprise, man.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
Yeah, Cole turns to me and he's like, "That's Elaine." I was like, "Yeah,
Laney.
I was just expecting her to come out talking about what was the contraception that she went nuts about in Seinfeld.
Oh, the sponge.
Yes, the sponge.
Well, she wasn't sponge worthy.
She wasn't sponge worthy.
And so it's established that they've been working together for some time, and she gives her new assignment, and her assignment is Clint Barton, and who
she's told Yelena, or what is it?
Yeah.
That she's told Yelena killed Black Widow, or, well, Natasha.
right.
Natasha Romanoff."
I thought it was a cool little touch too, that because I mean, in the movie, she's never like called Black Widow,
Right.
but when she dies at the end, quote unquote dies, she has the Black Widow mark on her tombstone,
Right,
and I thought that
exactly.
was a nice little
Well,
touch.
and they're all called widows.
Yeah,
Like all of the girls.
Well, yeah, but in in the movie, she's
Right.
never referred to as the Black Widow. Like, she's just like, they're just like, oh yeah, the Avengers are out.
Mhm.
What about? They're never like, what about you, Black Widow? Like,
And so to me, like, I'm assuming that's going to lead into the Hawkeye Disney Plus series,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and that's probably what it's going to be.
Right.
I'm excited.
yeah,
I'm excited to see that. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be pretty badass.
Yeah, I can't wait to see more of what Julia Louis-Dreyfus's organization is, and who they're, you know, what they're kind of doing there in the shadows and everything.
Right,
What?
because she played great in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So she was the one who convinced the now disgraced Captain America replacement to become U.S. agent.
that's right. Okay, I was because my question was that what was she on that I can't remember.
Mhm.
Then
She's in a really great HBO show called Veep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking back to when she was on Arrested Development as the
Yeah.
blind lawyer.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
That was such a good arc.
Arrested Development is amazing.
Final verdicts. What did you guys think?
I really enjoyed it. Apart from like I said earlier, there were a few parts where I like looked at my watch because I thought that it was dragging or whatever, but I would give it an 8 out of 100. I'm just kidding. Out of 10.
I've thought a lot about the movie, and you know, it was basically just, you know, a really good excuse for me to go to the movies again, which, you know, I'll never complain about that, man. It's always fun going to the movies, but
Especially as a crew.
Yeah.
oh yeah, we need to do it more.
It was more than a crew last night. I mean, it was like
Yeah, we had
A
my
crew
daughter, we had
and
Eddie's
some family.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Eddie's
ex
whole
on the
family
other
was-
s-
Eddie's whole
on the
family
other
was
side
there.
of the theater.
My whole family was there.
Would have been hilarious if you just started hurling insults at each other in the middle of the movie.
because nothing's stronger than family.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Aw.
How dare you bring that into this podcast?
I don't know. I'm definitely the lowest. If I had to give it like a number score, I'm probably like a 6. I just didn't really vibe with these characters. Like, you really kind of ruined me, Derek, by telling me like this very, you know, accurate description of Scarlett Johansson's, you know, acting. That chick can't act her way out of a plastic bag.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so Florence Pugh was great. I really like that actor. I've only seen her in Midsummer. I know she's in other things, but she's great. Like, she's got that fucking Russian accent down.
Mhm.
It makes me think that she probably is some type of immigrant. I don't think she's American.
I
don't
wish
really
we
know.
had a way to find out.
I'm pretty sure she's not American. Not that it matters, but I just think it like she's like really
Oh,
good.
she's English.
She's
Born
English.
in
Oh, wow.
Oxford.
So no, she's not American, but still, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and she's just really good at that inflection. And I like David Harbour a lot. I think he's a good actor. He also nailed the Russian accent.
Mhm.
Just really kind of brought together this weird, dysfunctional Russian sleeper cell family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. I really did like the beginning. That remix of Smells Like Teen Spirit
That was so
fucking
amazing.
awesome. Kind of a little pretentious, but I kind of let it slide.
I mean, the person that did it was so crazy talented. Like I can't,
Oh, yeah.
I can't be mad at it.
The
at all.
song is great.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just talking
just
about
the opening
The
credits.
opening felt a little pretentious. It was really just like my own interpretation of it. It's not not a big deal. I really like his name's Draco, right? The big bad guy in
Dreykov.
the sky.
Dreykov, yeah.
Dreykov. I really liked him. I thought it was cool, like the whole pheromone where you can't.
Mm-hmm.
The widows can't hit him. I think that's cool. Little fail-safe system.
Fun fact: that's Mr. French from The Departed.
Oh.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Oh, and Taskmaster is Olga Kurylenko.
Yeah, when he took Taskmaster's helmet off, that was visually upsetting to me. Like the way that her body's all burnt and her eyes all fucked up.
What is her significance? Like, what's she on?
She's in I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before that, but she was in a Bond movie. She was old girl from Hitman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she didn't have a line in the movie, so, it was kind of just a boring character.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, just a little aside, it sounds like they really fucked up the Taskmaster.
Well, she had one line at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he gone?
That's true. Yeah. I don't know, like them going and invading the widow training camp was pretty cool. The mom was super uninteresting to me. I don't know why.
I agree.
There just wasn't a whole lot of like interesting character development with these people. Like, I felt like everybody stayed stagnant too. Like, I was in the middle of the movie and I was like, okay, I had this thing where I'm like, let's go over characters' character arcs and where we're at in the movie. I did the same thing for Furry Last of Us.
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. Where it's like, okay,
Furry last.
where are we at? Where were we in terms of character, for everyone in the beginning of the movie? Where are we at now? And everyone's just like stagnating, like just in the air.
And old Sweet Tooth never gets unnaive. That dumb son of a bitch.
Professor, please.
He doesn't learn.
Calm down, Professor.
I don't know. I just really was bored of this movie. Like the action and everything was super cool, but like, if it's a Marvel movie without all that, then what are we doing?
So, I mean, I would say 7 out of 10. I mean, it was serviceable, and like I said, I enjoyed it a lot more than I would have because it relied much more on the other characters that Black Widow was connected with rather than resting solely or primarily on her.
Yeah.
And yeah, David Harbour was absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah.
What's her bucket?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh. Yeah, Florence Pugh was fantastic. I mean, she was just, she was great. Like every one of them, both her and him, were so full of fantastic one-liners.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, to me, it did what it needed to do to not make it a complete slog to get through. Will I watch it again? Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm going through all the Marvel movies and watching them in order, which I do sometimes. I mean, unless I'm doing that, I'm not really going to watch this movie again. Not because I hate it, I just don't really care.
Outsider looking in, it seems like this is a movie that they had to do, not a movie that they
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it seemed like to me. Like hey, what's Black Widow doing in between the events of so and so? You know, like it's. And yeah, if this I totally agree, Derek. If this movie didn't have Florence Pugh or David Harbour, this movie would be a 2 or a 3 for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just those guys really. It cannot be understated. Those two like really elevate the movie.
I mean, like as stale as we, and I say we because I'm sure all of us felt this to some degree at least. As stale as the characters seemed, and as level as their character arc was. Can you imagine how much fucking more of a spotlight would have been on that if those two weren't as funny and just magnetizing as they were? Like, it
was also a pretty serious movie too. Like in moments where it's like, I feel like most Marvel movies so far are serious with funny moments, and this one doesn't stray too far from that formula. But it's really serious.
Right.
You know, like Russian sleeper cells are being, you know, used against all sorts of corporate espionage and all this shit. Very, very serious. But now I'm going to make a joke about how many pockets my vest has.
But see, that's one of the things that Marvel has really, really excelled at.
Oh, I mean, it's a Disney thing.
Think of but
it's
see, maybe
it's in fucking Star Wars
hold
too.
up, maybe they've learned their lesson by now. But can we talk about Jar Jar Binks and comedy relief? Ugh!
Well, yeah.
That was no bueno whatsoever. So if they've learned their lesson and this is, you know, Disney kind of, you know, understanding what is...
They've always, I feel like lately especially, they've always had that dumb comedy relief, but you'll laugh at it. Like it's funny. Like
it's just like
that's what they have in their
Jar Jar Binks, I'll tell you that.
It's not Disney though.
Well, true. That was before.
They didn't.
Yeah, that's George Lucas.
That's fair.
Trying to sell toys.
I feel like it's a Disney Marvel thing.
That's what I'm trying to say, Nick. Because it's 100. Yeah. You're exactly correct. Because it's in fucking Star Wars. It's in this. Yeah. It's in all the fucking Dwayne the Rock Johnson movies that they're making. It's all. It's like it's invaded cinema in general. Just like this whole like stupid. I've complained about it before, where it's just like this fucking canned ass comedy in there, where it's like we're in a serious situation, but here's a relatable moment.
I mean, yeah, but imagine us in a serious situation. We would be throwing out quips left and right. You know, but
we're normal people. We're not Russian sleeper cells. You know what I mean?
Well, like, yeah, but these are also people. I mean, maybe not so much Red Guardian, but like Yelena, like she's gone on with her life. Like she's living a normal life as normal as she can.
Very quickly, I might add.
I'm just saying
because she was under the
red rooms.
Yeah,
right. I'm just saying, like that's the guise they want us to be viewing this under, and so you know. She's living a normal life. Natasha, I mean, I wouldn't say that she's living a normal life, but, you know, she's with Avengers, she's with peers and people and that she's comfortable with. Like, so she's kind of, as much as she could be, living a normal life.
Right.
So, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, movies, in this sense, to me, are a reflection of life. Because, like, we're at a funeral, right? Somebody cracks a joke. That's what people do.
I know. I get what you're saying, but I just the cracks begin to show for me. It's just an opinion, where it's like we have these just completely unrelatable characters, and then here's a joke that's like, oh, someone who's not, you know, an Avenger will find this funny. It's the same. It's the same thing with Star Wars, where like I just don't really understand why. I don't know. It's a nitpick for sure. I just don't really dig it.
I feel like
every fucking movie does it now. I swear to God.
I feel like it humanizes characters.
Yeah.
It humanizes characters, but it's just like I said, it's really hard to connect with these characters outside of those jokes. That's how I feel.
Right. So they have to just not be funny?
Well, no, I'm not saying...
They have to not be human.
I'm not demanding anything. I'm just saying, like, it's a problem for me because it just kind of breaks the tension of whatever story you're telling.
Gotcha.
And I know, I get it. Like, you're probably thinking, like, oh, he just wants all serious movies to be serious all the time and all comedic movies to just be comedic all the time. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's...
Well, and they do...
It's all over movies, though. It's not just like a... It's a formula to get the audience more involved.
I don't think it's specifically to get audience more involved as much as it is if you've got, 20 minutes of nothing but ass-kicking drama, if you continue with another 40 minutes of that, it's meaningless. You have to have some sort of palate cleanser in the middle there. Horror movies do it all the time. All movies do it all the time. Because if you just have an hour and a half, 2 hours of one thing, none of it's going to be completely 100% meaningless. Like, that's the way that stories work.
No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's good structure. And it gets as much out of what they're trying to show as possible. As much as possible. I get what you're saying. It's a problem for me.
I see.
It's the same reason why, like, I don't like Overwatch, but a lot of people love Overwatch. So I get.
All right, now you're shredding. Now you're shredding.
You watch yourself there, buddy.
So, I think it's still because your attitude towards Marvel movies is negative.
They're not negative at all. They're ambivalent. Don't love them, don't hate them. I'm watching them because
they're tertiary.
Let
That's
me
not
assail
what that
you.
means.
Let me assail you.
I also don't feel like ambivalence is the word you want to use.
Ambivalence is
I
the
believe
absence
the
of
word
love
you're
and
looking
hate.
for is amphibious.
That was a good one.
You ever seen a video of a frog screaming? It's amazing. It's fucking awesome. They just
So, and like, I'm not like trying to dunk on you or anything.
You are, but it's okay.
No. Like, this is like a serious conversation. I think that you don't like Marvel movies, and your attitude is getting in the way of enjoying them too. I think that you aren't having an open mind when watching them. No, I know you. Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you know me?
Yep. I've spent 8 years by your side.
Nothing.
I know when you are interested and disinterested in things.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think that you aren't having an open mind and you're going into it with a bad attitude.
Go off, babe. Let's hear it.
And then you come out of it saying, oh yeah, no, it was trash. Because
I'm not saying it's trash. The 6 is not trash. The 6 is okay according to the IGN scale of rating.
But what was the last Marvel movie that we watched?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. You were...
I liked Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was cool, man.
Honey, you don't gotta lie to kick it.
I'm not lying.
You told me...
We're still kicking it. You're going down a bad road. I don't want to expose you.
Is that a threat?
Go
off.
It's a fucking
What kind of exposure are we talking?
Yeah.
Now we're all invested.
What?
Trying to get us naked again.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It's not a negative. It's just something that hurt my overall enjoyment of the movie.
I feel like with that rationale, you would feel like that about every movie ever.
I do.
Okay.
Movies suck now. They don't make movies like they used to make them. They just suck now. They're just big, giant advertisements for other things in the world.
They were never like that before.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
No, you're right. No,
Do you remember?
You're 100% right. They were. However, they were still good.
I beg your pardon. Do you remember the E.T. ripoff? What was it called?
No.
Mac and Me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember
Mac and Me?
Me?
Fucking rock, bro. Mac and Me fucking
Are you
rock.
fucking high?
Well, yes, but it's fucking awesome.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
Grow up.
Grow up! You're gonna tell me I'm wrong?
No, you should watch that now. Watch
Mac
it.
and Me?
Yes.
I haven't seen it in forever. It's the same one as that Shaquille O'Neal movie from the 90s.
Dude, you should watch that shit now.
The one where he's a fucking genie and he
I
like raps
swear to
and
God,
shit.
Kazam.
if there is not a visible Pepsi can in every scene of that movie, good lord.
Well, no, absolutely.
Do you
But those
remember-
movies
And that
are
movie
better.
was horrifying.
Do you remember when Big Tobacco and like
Oh yeah.
and beer got taken down for product placement in movies?
Mm-hmm.
Like one that comes to mind is the first Men in Black, when the aliens have like a whole cart of cartons of Marlboro cigarettes. Yeah, that shit got taken down fast.
I feel like it, and I'm like a lot of it is biases though. Like I mean, obviously.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not like trying to like flame you or
I like the
anything.
movie. I thought it was fine.
Right, but
You'd enjoy it
But
more
you're-
if you weren't busy nitpicking
No, but
every little
no,
goddamn thing.
let me
It's
let me
true
just let me tell you that you did not like the movie despite what you feel
You're
inside.
clearly lying to yourself.
Go off, bro.
All right, Nick, what'd you think?
All right. So I was, like I said in the beginning, I was pleasantly surprised with how kind of disinterested I was at the beginning. I was like, oh, I don't need to see this Black Widow movie. And then, my thoughts changed. There were some parts where, and this is just because this is how my mind works, is like certain parts in the movie I was like, oh, I'd have a good joke if we were doing a Mystery Science Theater to this movie.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
So
Yeah, same.
where she meets Yelena and they're fighting and she's like, put your gun down. She's like, no, you. That's like what I was like, no, you. Like, cause, and then when she like had her up on the counter and she was pushing her face down, my head was just like, eat it. And then when it shows them showing up to the Red Room and the widows are like training or whatever, my head was like, and that wraps up your halftime show featuring the widows. But
I got like a very like Charlie's Angel vibes for like, it's like how convenient that they're all beautiful women.
Charlie's Angels, come on.
Like he
Charlie,
picks
how your angels
he
get
picks
down
all
like
of these women as young
children,
and
and
they
grow
all
up to be
grew up
beautiful,
hot.
yeah.
Awesome.
Except for his daughter.
Well, she was probably hot before, or would have been. Oh, that's right, because that happened when she was
was a
really young.
child.
Yeah.
I don't know, Derek. Was
Never-
she hot
Yeah.
back then?
Oh, self-report.
I forgot when she got all fucked up. My bad.
Got his ass.
Yeah, well, you're fat.
Oh, I hate you guys so much.
I should expect these tangents when
That shouldn't
I'm
be
when I'm
as
trying
funny.
to go off on stuff, shouldn't I?
Well,
We
I
all
mean,
do.
Yeah, we do it for everyone.
Mystery Science, Widows. So there were like a very few nitpicks that I've already kind of got over, like the like Eddie was saying, like the neckbeard in me kind of came out with the whole Taskmaster thing. Like it wasn't enough to make me just be like, oh, this movie sucked, but it was enough to make me go, what the fuck? Dude? Like that's not even a thing anywhere.
Yeah.
And just the fact that we always saw, like the fact that Taskmaster looked like the dude on the cover of Call of Duty Ghosts.
Yeah.
I
didn't even know it was Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being 100% with you,
I didn't know
it. I
either.
thought he was just some random super soldier.
And like we never saw the iconic hood on that at least me, Derek, and Eddie know that Taskmaster would always have. But I mean, like everyone else has been saying, like Harbor and Pugh like were the glue that held this movie together, and they were like redemption for me. So I would say, and just because of my history of love for Marvel, I would say 7.5 at least for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Cole. I gave this a 6 out of 10. Also, yeah,
Wow.
It was just all those weird comedic moments, man. They just really took Eddie out of it.
Yeah. No,
Listen, bitch. Don't make me fuck you up, okay?
Yeah, those moments of comedy that every movie has is just stupid.
God,
Why do they even
comedy
include
sucks.
those?
Y'all
Geez.
don't even fucking
What
listen.
what even is comedy?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Every movie has
Definitely not this thing that we're doing right now.
Not at all.
No, I'm going to agree with the rating of 6 out of 10. That Taskmaster thing just kind of threw me out. I mean, I wouldn't have cared that they gender swapped Taskmaster, but I feel like Taskmaster is such a great character on his own that they could have just
Like the story swap.
Yeah.
I think you're just
Nitpicking.
no, I think you're just justifying being a misogynist, Eddie.
I'm sorry, I'm talking.
I didn't allow you.
Got her ass fucking dead in the ground.
No,
Men are talking.
Like, I get that because...
Ooh, the effing fucking... the effing girl stands for funny. Ooh.
No.
The effing girl stands for funny because there is no funny girl.
Ah.
Got him.
Got me. I didn't know. I didn't get
Yeah,
that
me
at first.
That's a funny looking kitchen you're sitting in, Angela.
Oh!
Let me turn down this heat, okay? Because you're getting flamed.
I mean, I get that. I get... Because, like, with characters like the Joker, I feel like it's a lot more malleable. It's a lot more malleable of a backstory to play around with, because there are so many different origins that you know, the Joker's story's been retconned so many times. He's been given so many just different random origins in different stories. Like, you can do that and it's fine. But Taskmaster, that's not really a thing.
And even with the Joker that has been gender swapped, as you know, part of the Flashpoint paradox. But I mean, yeah, I feel like you could have still gender swapped Taskmaster and given her the same story.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just feel like that, to me, that was a big button. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't want to, like, and it's not, of course, it's not because of gender. Thanks to Angela, now I'm a misogynist. But
What do you mean now? You always were.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dude, that one part when he was explaining the pheromones and how I was like, yeah, we need that.
Oh.
I also thought that Florence Pugh and David Harbour stole the show. Like, they literally, they need massages because they carried the shit out of that show.
100%.
I honestly, and there was the same criticism. I forgot who it was that made that criticism, but Rachel Weisz could have been in that show or not.
Yeah.
Could have been in that movie or not, and nothing would have changed.
I mean, she was just a device to do the couple of little things that, you know, they needed an into the Red Room for. Like, that was it. That was her only purpose.
I honestly could have done without her, and I mean, I love Rachel Weisz. I think she's a great actress or whatever, but I just feel like she wasn't very necessary to the plot. Like, she could have stayed dead and that would have been fine.
Yeah.
I feel like the action sometimes in some instances was very shaky. Like, they used that shaky cam thing a little too much.
Oh.
Like in the beginning fight with Natasha and Yelena, like, that fight was super, like, wonky, and I couldn't really see a lot of what they were doing
And
with each other.
there were a ton of quick cuts, too.
There were definitely a ton of quick cuts, so I feel like that was a very big detractor. I thought the movie was fun. I thought the action was, from what I was able to see, minus all of the shaky cam stuff, I thought the action was great. The placement, you know, just right after Civil War and all of that, adding those little tidbits to the story and little Easter eggs that I did see, or the little Easter eggs that did pop out to me, were very cool. But all in all, like you said, Derek, will I see it again? Probably not, unless I'm watching the Marvel Universe in chronological order.
I mean, like, my overall tagline of how I feel about this movie would be, it was a fun little way station until the next good big Marvel movie.
Agreed. So for me, yeah, I agree with Cole, 6 out of 10. So that concludes our Black Widow episode. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at the Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcore Podcast.
or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search the Nerd Corporation and look out for our green NC logo.
And if you want to hear more of Derek's big words, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcorppodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extra content and bonus episodes. We'd like to thank our patrons right now, our Nerd Corporate backers, Glenn the Simp and Fillmore McLaurin, and our Nerd Financial investors, Kim Nichols and Dallin Gilbert.
Thank you, Dallin. Thank you, Mom.
You do realize I said the word unnaive in this episode. You realize I said that, right?
Looks like Misty's actually getting you to say less intelligent words.
Stay tuned for our next Patreon episode where Derek just reads a bunch of big words one after the other.
That's such a misogynistic thing of you to say, Eddie.
You misogynist.
Please speak when you're spoken to.
Notice how I'm not saying anything.
So for the Nerd Corporation, my name is Eddie Lyon.
I'm Cole Simper.
I'm the professor.
Shut the fuck up, bro.
You fucking said it. You coined
can't
it.
Fucking take this moniker
You-
on like
you
a badge
coined-
of pride. I make fun of you for this.
And I will take it and run with it. Suck a dick.
And I'm Nick Lewis.
And I'm a communist.
Damn.
Keep it nerdy, y'all.